Good morning, students. How are you? Fine. Okay, very good. In yesterday discussion, we came to learn different concepts of national income, such as the concept of final goods, the concept of intermediate goods, the concept of depreciation, the concept of net indirect tax, etc. we have discussed. Okay, and there is one more very important concept of national income, and that is called net factor income from abroad. Okay, what is this and how is this measured, and what is its provision in national income accounting? We shall discuss one by one. Okay, let us first recall your previous understanding of domestic territory once again. What are included in domestic territory of a country we have discussed. You know, children, other than the domestic territory of a country, the remaining part of the world is called rest of the world or foreign sector. Okay? What happens, whatever income generates within the domestic territory of our country, a part of it goes to foreign sector or rest of the world in different way and different forms. Okay, and a part of the income generated abroad also comes to our domestic territory. Okay, now the difference between these two incomes will be simply called as net factor income from abroad. Okay, what happens, some incomes are earned by our normal residents from rest of the world, and some incomes are earned by non-residents from within our domestic territory. And the difference between these two incomes will be called net factor income from abroad. Okay, and this net factor income from abroad is in three forms, or you can say it has three major components. Okay, what are these components? Number one, net compensation of employees from abroad. Okay, it is the difference of incomes which are earned from work by our normal residents from rest of the world and by non-residents from within our domestic territory, and that is why it is called net compensation of employees from abroad. Number two, net property and entrepreneurial income from abroad. As you know, the income generates through property and entrepreneurship. So the difference between the incomes earned through property and entrepreneurship by normal residents from rest of the world and by non-residents from within our domestic territory will be called as net property and entrepreneurial income from abroad. Okay, the third one is net retained earnings of companies from abroad. As you know, retained earning is also called corporate saving or undistributed profit. It is that part of profit which is not distributed among the shareholders but is retained by the company herself. Okay? And it is called net retained earning of companies. Okay? So, the difference between the earnings by our domestic companies from abroad and by our non-resident companies from our domestic territory will be called as net retained earnings of companies from abroad. Okay. Thus we can say net factor income from abroad is equal to net compensation of employees from abroad plus net property and entrepreneurial income from abroad plus net retained earnings of companies from abroad. Fine. Okay. Now come to the basic thing. Children, whatever income generates within the domestic territory of a country, it is called domestic income. And this domestic income is generated by normal residents and non-residents both. Okay? And if you add the net factor income from abroad to domestic income, then you will get national income, theoretically. Or you can say domestic income plus net factor income from abroad is equal to national income. Understood? And that is why we say national income is the aggregate of what? Aggregate of money value of all final goods and services produced within the domestic territory of a country by its normal residents over a period of time, excluding the value of intermediate consumption, depreciation, net indirect tax, and including net factor income from abroad. Okay? I have discussed the definition of national income in broad. And while defining national income, I explained different concepts of national income. Okay? There are some other important concepts also which must be clear to all, such as the concept of stocks and flows. The two terms are used in macroeconomics, stocks and flows. You know, students, a stock is what and flow is what. A stock is the measurement of any quantity at a particular point of time. That means if a variable or something is measured at a particular point of time, such as on a particular day like on Sunday, on Monday, on a particular date like on 3rd of January, like of 2nd of October, on a particular time like 3 p.m., like 4 a.m., like 9 p.m., etc. Then the measurement of such a quantity on these particular points of time will be called as stock. Examples of stock are the population of a country at a particular point of time is a stock. The stock of capital with a firm is a stock. The distance between two places is a stock. Okay? And there may be so many other examples also. The number of children sitting in the classroom at a particular point of time is stock. Okay? Simply, when a quantity is measured at a particular point of time, then it is called stock. Right? Second one is flow. Flow is what? The measurement of any quantity over a period of time or during a period of time is called flow. Okay? There is time period in it. Such as growth rate of population of a country is measured for a period of time, thus it is flow. The rate of capital formation is a flow. Okay? The growth rate of a country in terms of GDP is a flow. Okay? And there may be so many other examples of flow. Right? The variables of a stock are affected by the variables of flows, and the variables of flows are affected by the variables of stocks. Thus, the stocks and flows are interrelated and they affect each other. Okay? What about national income? It is a stock or it is a flow? Remember, children, national income is measured for a period of time, usually for 1 year. Therefore, it is called flow. Right? And I would like to finish this lecture here, and remaining part I will discuss tomorrow. Thank you.